Group K, Bly versus Fear. Can you imagine that? We came out of one series and the other game was ready to go. How does that even happen? Literally magical. Absolutely magical. So, we kick this off. It is to the bottom right hand side, representing Team Expert, of course. It is Bly. And to the upper left, the Blue Protoss player from Dead Pixels is Fear. I did say Team Expert for Bly, right? I didn't mess that one up, did I? Yes, maybe, perhaps. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Alrighty, boys. We all feeling good? Hope so. Hope you're ready for lots more StarCraft 2. Because this is our second series of what's going to be our first group stage today. Obviously, after this, we've got Group Stage 2 and Group Stage 3, a full evening. Or full night of StarCraft 2 action, depending on where you're from. As this Overlord just coming up towards the top side of the map from Bly. Again, sorry for a few sniffles here and there, guys. We are beating this cold. Considering tomorrow I'm going to have the day off because there's nothing to really cast in the morning, and then we go into the evening, it's like DreamHack, so obviously we're not going to cast tomorrow. Should have it beaten by the end of tomorrow, which is going to be fantastic. Why is there a WCS stream from Wardy that says live from my Android phone? What? Literally what? I don't use an Android, I use an iPhone. I love my iPhone. I will defend it until the end of days because honestly it's just so much better than any of... Whenever my friend gives me their phone to use, I'm just like, how do you even use this? Like, is it like I just don't get it. Like, I don't know. Call me biased, but what? I just can't. I just love the iOS too much. Anyways. I'm just going to be seeing the Stargate opener here from Fear. No real nonsense in the early stages. Two European players here, of course. Bly, someone we all love and know. In the first DreamHack of last year, DreamHack Leipzig, he came in second place to Petit Drogo. And of course he's playing against Fear, who a lot of people will not know Fear, or they'll know Fear but haven't seen him do too much. But Fear actually had some really great results last year. One of the first ones is a few Lings already picking up a bunch of probe kills. 4 probe kills already, probably a 5th now in the back of the middle line. Oh man, this is bad. Fear is all over the place trying to defend this. It's not a pretty start from him at all. 6 workers killed from just a couple of Lings. Few mistakes early. I mean, of course, Bly did invest into those Lings, but 4 Lings for 6 probes, a very worthwhile trade from the get-go. But yeah, a lot of people don't really know this because he didn't quite make it, but Fear was like 1 map away from making the money last year at DreamHack Valencia, which means he was like 1 map away from round of 16. He played against Rail in the round of 32, and it was a 2-3 series. So this guy's serious business, man. Young, from Germany. He's only 16, 17, I think, still. Maybe 17 now. So yeah, kind of really excited to see him flying out to Austin to compete, of course. We see Bly's early opening, just an Evo chamber plus 1 melee. Despite Fear losing some workers here, he's still actually in an okay-ish worker count, just because of Bly's opening being so aggressive with the number of Lings he's making. A Dropper Lord in towards the main. I think what you can see Bly doing is just abusing the fact that he feels like the more confident player, and he knows that Fear is maybe a little bit nervous. And so obviously if you're a little bit nervous as Fear, the last thing you want to do is to be kind of playing against an aggressive playstyle that requires you to make lots of quick early decisions in the game, which you can kind of just fall behind against, you know, if you make the wrong decisions. So we're going to see a couple of Oracles here, which are actually being kept in the base from the Stargate. So they're going to come through and they're going to protect all but, well, even that one probe staying alive there. So they're going to protect all the probes. But obviously it means he's not going across the map with the Oracles, which does, you know, obviously does mean he's missing out on a little bit of potential aggression here. Overlord just sat to the side of the base, and as going to be seeing the Rotron is about to finish up here towards the front. A lot more Zerglings coming across as well. Bly looking to see what he can get up to, looking to run around and just keep on being aggressive, really. Phoenix pops out and is starting to work its way through that Overlord, pushing it way south of the main base. And nothing really too crazy about any of this, you know. If he is just cleaning up Overlords, he's just defending against, again, what has been fairly aggressive out of Bly in the early stages, if we're going to be honest. So, just going to be seeing some Zerglings run over to the right. Resonating Glaives is about halfway done here already. Third Nexus is on the way up too, about halfway done. A couple of Pylons just over halfway up as well. And Zergle's going to continue fighting against the against all of this. It's going to force a cancel Adepts though. We're moving down towards the third, and you can see that Bly is maybe not quite prepared for this. Roaches are on the way up though, and they might just come into play in time. Still no Glaives just yet, as the Adepts will start a shade around. Roaches will now be spotted. Obviously, Roach is not as mobile as the Adepts, however, so as the Adepts jump up in towards the main, potential to kill some drones still, as these Oracles looking to protect the third. Look at the blocks though from Bly. Really good positioning on the Queen and the Roach here to stop the Adepts getting in towards the mineral line. You see those Adepts do try and shade out, and no damage done at all. Fia getting completely shut down by Bly in the early stages, like completely shut down. Really, really solid right from the start of this. Two Oracles going to come across, but Bly just has so much, and I mean, you can already see the number of Lings coming across. The Roach is moving over now as well. And it feels as though Fia might have just lost a little bit too much in these early stages. The Sentry getting caught out the front as well, and another force field coming down. More Sentries continuing to be targeted. So a few Sentries dropping, probes going down as well. 8 probes dead. And these Oracles helping to defend, but again, it's another 8 workers. Now Bly is only on 47 workers of his own, so actually, in terms of actual number of units here, there is enough for kind of Fia to kind of stay in the game in terms of economy, but he has to survive against this army, and he lets the units in. He didn't have his sentry placed correctly in the wall. He didn't have energy for a force field any longer, and now he's losing just a few too many probes. The Lings are on top of the Immortal, and even the Oracles continue to pick away here. I mean, they've got a lot of kills between them, 28, but in the end, I mean, 30 more probes have just died, and that's going to change so much. As we're going to be seeing, maybe he can use the Immortal as well. And that's painful as Bly. Uh-oh, that's not good. He sends his drones across the map. That's really not good. And that's not really a sign of BM or anything. That's just a genuine misclick right there. And Bly realizing they're going to have to pull those back. So, well, both players playing a few little misclicks and misjudgments here and there. You see more Lings streaming into the natural again. Heavy pressure from Bly, and here we'll just type out. Bly takes game number 1 of this best of 3. We'll be jumping into established EU, top level EU player. So they were saying like this is a group that could kind of cause some surprises, but so far as expected, Bly and Fia in that winner match. Bottom left hand side, our red Zerg player. It is going to be Bly from Team Expert. Top right side of the map, our blue Protoss player. Give it up for Fia. So we're casting this series, guys. I'm not sure which series we will cast next. I have absolutely no idea at all. I don't know what game we're going to cast next. I mean, we're just going to take it as it comes. So I know you guys are all wanting to see certain people and so on, but obviously asking me kind of in the middle of a series isn't really going to help anyone out, because I'm not going to be able to just jump into that game if we're mid-series or something already. So yeah. As you do see Fia gonna go for the 2-gate opening. Honestly, I kind of like it. 2 gates, and he's gonna... I like this for the most part because he's gonna say, you know what? I'm struggling a little bit when Bly's applying pressure to me. But what if I'm the one applying the pressure? What if I come in and I'm the one to make a couple of Adepts here? What if I'm the one to harass and do damage early and all the rest of it? Well, that would be, of course, fantastic. And that could be the way in which Fia kind of goes to kind of turn things around for himself, That could be how he takes that stress off of his shoulders and just sits back in his chair a little bit and be like, okay, good, I'm the one that's doing the damage, and he's not in my base. I'm not having to lose probes to a couple of Lings here and there and all the rest of it. So yeah. Cybercore finishes up, and there's the first 2 Adepts. Starting to come on out, as we do just see. Plenty of drones just mining away. Obviously, Bly saturating that main base. He's making some Lings now, which is just his first 4 Zerglings. We'll see if he wants to go into a lot more Lings and really try and turn this into some sort of aggression. I don't think so, because this was not Hatch Gas Pool. It was Hatch Pool Gas coming in here from Bly. So, it means his gas is a bit later, so you would imagine it's not going to be some sort of Ling Flood, where you would generally probably want the gas as soon as possible. The sooner you get that, the better. Now, as Bly does hit 100 gas, he's going to keep on mining. He is going to take the Ling speed, but he's going to keep on mining with all 3 work. Sorry, he actually just cut down to 1 worker just now, though. So, cutting that worker gas and come down. Well, the first Adepts are already coming across the map, and that's going to force a lot more Lings out of Bly. This is the very powerful thing about this kind of double Adept play. You can force so many units, and in the meanwhile, you're just probing up like crazy at home, and you can already see worker count is even going into this. And these Adepts are going to come into the mineral line now, so if Bly loses any workers at all, he's really going to start being in a little bit of a tough spot. Love this, just sitting in the corner against these Zerglings. He knows that these Lings cannot really fight too well in the corner against this sort of position. This Adept shades away to the side. Has that worked? Has he hidden this? I think he has hidden this. Meanwhile, there's a couple of Lings in the mineral line which are going to start being a mild nuisance, but again, this time Fear deals with it, doesn't take too much damage. And where's that Adept gotten to? Can we got just come down? Looks as though it's been killed. So what got traded out then? 2 Adepts for 10 Zerglings? Yeah, I'd say that's fairly successful. You know, Fear is keeping himself competitive in the worker count, and he's gotten a full scout of Bly's base as well. You saw there was no third hatchery up just yet, but you also saw there wasn't much gas mining. In general, I would say this was a successful for Fear. In terms of his open, I'd say he's done what he wants to do, as the Overlord now will come in and scout this Stargate. So that's going to be, obviously, a nice little pickup to just see the Stargate right from the get-go. It gives Bly plenty of time to react and to respond, say, aha, I'm going to do this and that and this now. So just knowing about that's always, always nice, seeing this early. And as you can see, the Mothership Core coming out the front, getting ready to maybe think about establishing a third Nexus in the very near future. With the Stargate up, you can start that Oracle, and then you start to kind of get to that stage where you're stacking up the minerals a bit. So, third Nexus definitely on the cards. We see some Lings going to drop into the natural. No vision in the back here, so that's something which Fear will have to find a response to. Unfortunately, all of his Adepts positioned on the low ground are not really in position to deal with these few Zerglings. Only 5 Lings though, but still enough to do some damage. Fear should see it pretty quickly and immediately just pulls probes into fight. Nice, comes in with the surround this time. That's something he's not really been getting with the probes before now. He's been kind of just fighting kind of like this, not getting full surrounds. It just allows the Lings to do a bit more. This is better micro. 2 workers lost, and he shouldn't take too much more damage. He loses a third just because of good targeting by Bly, but again, I'd say that's reasonable. I think you can kind of justify losing that, as one Oracle just sat above the Stargate again. Meanwhile, Adept's going to go into the mineral line. Bly doesn't have any units right now, so here we go. Drones are going to come in for the surround. Target down the Adept Spear. I mean, targeting down this Queen's cute and all, but it's not really going to save your day, and this could have been so. I mean, he fired, what, like 5 or 6 times with 4 Adepts? I mean, I know it's hard to target with all of them separately, but this could have been so easily 7 to 10 workers, and that would have been a great lead for him in this situation. Lings coming around the back now, looking as though we're going to have another drop in towards the natural expansion in the next few moments. So setting up towards that here. We're going to be seeing the resonating glaives also coming down. Fear setting that up. It's very standard kind of follow-up. I love the fact he's starting to build a I love the fact he's starting to build a Phoenix just to help push the Dropper Lord away. You're going to see the Dropper Lord coming into the main right now. He's going to warp in an Adept, which is going to get jumped on top of instantly, as is the Stalker. This isn't actually so bad. He's going to get rid of the Overlord. He's got 2 Adepts to fight. He's going to maybe lose an Adept, but I mean, he's killed an Overlord. He's killed some Lings, so again, good defense from Fear. Continue to keep himself in a decent position. Third Nexus coming up. He could love to get some gates at the front here just to wall off and feel that bit safer. But look at Bly's side of the map. You know, Evo Chamber hasn't exactly started this +1 melee very quickly. The Lair only just halfway done now. It's not the fastest of tech out of Bly at all, so I still think this is looking good from Fear. With a lot more Adepts coming in. He's about to hit Glaives as well, by the way, which he could look to move across the map with to some extent. We'll see if that's something he wants to do. Bly this time around not throwing down the Roach Roar, and instead will opt to go for the Baneland Nest. And look to see how he can utilize this in these early stages. 2 Oracles still just sat to the side of the main base. I'm just going to see the 4th hatchery coming down here as well. Going to see the Oracles just popping their pulsar beams and starting to work their way through it. As the Zerglings come forwards, and they're just going to start working their way through those rocks. So rocks starting to go down. Down. Rocks definitely, so rocks are falling here. A couple more Adepts being warped in. And they're just going to sit out the front. And again, like Glaives is finished. Do you want to move across the map right now? It looks as though he does. I feel he does too. Force some more Zerglings, force some Banes to morph in. Use up some of that gas instead of letting it go into the kind of further tech in this game. You see the Oracles here. Actually, for the Revelation, he'll see those Banes. He might find the opportunity to come in and guys going to say, yeah, target down a couple of them with the Oracles, but doesn't have too much energy on the second one, which is unfortunate, but he does actually have the vision on the creature to get rid of some of these. And the Banes can move forwards. The Adepts! Oh my god, clumping in a corner worked against Zerglings previously, but don't think it's going to work against Banelands here. Not to the effect that he's hoping for. As we're just going to be seeing the Ling is just sitting in the center. This gold base got cancelled, by the way. And we're just going to be seeing the base coming up to the left-hand side now. Instead, there's a Prism coming out here again. This game, you've got to give it to him. He's looking much more confident. He's getting into his mid-game. He's getting into the later stages. Very surprised he's chosen not to wall at the front. In a way, I can understand why, because it's a very difficult base to get out of if you do. But at the same time, you've got to wonder, like, well, what if you do get attacked? Or it's just giving Bly, the player he loves to run by, be aggressive and all the rest of it, it's just giving him the chance to get more damage done. Forces to cancel on the gold once again. It will become a hatchery once more, but I mean, again, forcing the cancels. Why not? I mean, he's got the energy on the oracles. May as well put it to some sort of use. Revelations are nice as well, but this works too. I mean, gold base is very valuable. As 4 workers going down, as a depth harassment in the main. Does pick up some good damage. Picks up 2, picks up 4 of those depth 6 worker kills. And it's again Fear who's the one dictating the pacing here, dictating the way this is going, and being fairly successful with what he's dictating as well. High Templar just going to warp in towards the back of this mineral line. And you do just see the other model on the way out. Ling, Bane, Hydra collecting towards the front. Bly bringing these forwards and probably going to be looking to kind of attack in and see what they can do. Zealots in the front, a few Adepts behind, and you're going to see the Zealots charging forwards right away. One Bane going down, another Bane to a third Bane. Like, you're seeing a couple of force fields to help out. These Banes will start to connect. You can see kind of Fear trying to split away a little bit. Storm is 5 seconds away. Please don't lose these High Templars before Storm finishes. No, the High Templar, he morphs in Archons. I mean, you can't really blame him because momentarily it looked as though he was going to lose them. He was so close to having Storms for this, though, and 4 Storms would have gone a huge distance. I mean, the 2 Archons still morphing during the fight obviously isn't brilliant. Feels like he could maybe be a bit more confident with these 2 Immortals, pushing forwards with them and killing off a few more Hydras while they were targeting down those Archons, perhaps. Still an okay position, though. He's going to bring the Adepts towards the hatchery towards at the gold base. However, I guess the issue is the Spire is coming from Bly in this transition. Could just be a little bit too much from Fear. He's going to be seeing him setting up again. Doesn't really find any drones on the gold, so just lifts up. Man, Fear's just not ready at all to play against Mutalisks. I mean, Archons are very immobile. The Storms are very kind of hit and miss with Mutas too because they're so fast and they regen so much. And he's going to start a Phoenix now. Looks as though he's found it. I guess the Mutas have just been used to shut down the Prism. So he knows about it. So now he's going to start making Phoenix as a response. But is it just a little bit too late? Well, definitely could be a possibility as we see these units moving forward. He's going to sit just above this gold base here. And I mean, here we go. I mean, Mutas move in. And now what, Fear? You know, it's unfortunate because Fear was doing so well in this game, and then that attack coming in at just the right time really for Bly. I mean, it couldn't really have been closer in terms of getting into a good position as the Mutas are super low because of those Storms. He sat in those to take down a couple of these, take down 8 workers. But now 2 Phoenix actually going to do a surprising amount against these Mutalisks just because they're on such low health. So Fear's going to clean up every single Mutalisk, costing them only 1 Phoenix. And well, the threat has been averted for now. I mean, obviously, more Mutas can be made, but Bly's already been remaking Ling, Hydra, Bane, so, well, let's see how this next engagement goes. He is kind of missing Storms, which is an issue. High Templar just starting to gain energy, but they need 20 more, and, well, this attack from Bly's getting ready to go. Obviously, you can see Bly sort of baiting Fear out to the right-hand side, allowing the Banes to start rolling in towards the third base. Some probes already dropping. Another Immortal on the way out. More probes being chased up this round by the Banes. Eventually he'll turn around as we see the Immortals coming in towards the frontier. The High Templar getting killed before they can do anything. Zealot's going to try and charge forwards right now, but the control in this engagement just has not gone the way of Fear. And Bly just has a little bit too much. Another couple of Zealots going down. GG. Well played. Bly takes game number 2.